If you're planning to move to the UK in 2026, everything just changed. The Home Office just dropped 5 massive immigration updates that will decide who gets in and who gets left behind. Whether you're a student, a skilled worker, or bringing your family, these changes will hit your visa, your timeline, and your future. I've spent 20 years inside government immigration systems, and what I'm seeing right now is historic. Some doors are closing, but others are opening wider than ever. Stay with me, because what you don't know in the next few minutes could cost you everything or give you the breakthrough you've been praying for. The United Kingdom has always been a land of dreams for millions around the world. From the cobblestone streets of London to the universities of Oxford and Cambridge, from the bustling tech hubs of Manchester to the quiet countryside where families build new lives, the UK represents opportunity, education, safety, and a fresh start. But as we step into 2026, the immigration landscape across the British Isles is shifting in ways that will reshape the lives of hundreds of thousands of people who are watching, waiting, and hoping for their chance to call the UK home. These aren't small tweaks or minor policy adjustments. What we're witnessing is a fundamental recalibration of who gets to enter, who gets to stay, and who gets to thrive in the United Kingdom. The Home Office, under immense pressure from economic realities, political debates, and public sentiment, has rolled out 5 major changes that will directly impact students applying for study visas, skilled workers looking for sponsorship, families separated by borders, entrepreneurs chasing innovation, and asylum seekers desperately searching for refuge. If you're an immigrant or someone who loves an immigrant, these changes are not abstract policy points. They are the difference between reunion and separation, between opportunity and rejection, between building a life and watching it crumble. Let me walk you through what's happening, why it matters, and what you need to do right now to protect your future. This is not about fear. This is about knowledge. This is about power. This is about making sure you're not left behind when the doors swing shut. The first major change that's sending shockwaves through immigrant communities is the drastic tightening of the graduate visa route. For years, international students who completed their degrees at UK universities could stay for 2 years or 3 years for PhD graduates to work, explore opportunities, and build their careers without needing immediate sponsorship. This was a golden ticket. It gave young people from Nigeria, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Kenya, Ghana, and dozens of other nations the breathing room to transition from student life to professional life. It was hope in policy form. But the UK government has now announced that starting in mid-2026, the graduate visa will no longer be an automatic right. Instead, it will be tied to specific salary thresholds and job categories. If you graduate and cannot secure a role that pays at least $30,000 per year in a shortage occupation, or a role deemed critical to the UK economy, your graduate visa application will be rejected. This is a seismic shift. Thousands of students who took out loans, sold family land, borrowed from relatives, and sacrificed everything to study in the UK are now staring at a future where graduation doesn't guarantee staying. The dream that education would open doors now comes with a lock that only high earners can pick. Why is this happening? The government argues that the graduate visa has been abused, that too many graduates are taking low-skilled jobs, and that the route has not delivered the economic value promised. They say the system must prioritize high earners and critical sectors. But for the 22-year-old who just finished a degree in marketing or the 25-year-old with a master's in social work, this policy feels like betrayal. They played by the rules, they studied hard, they paid tuition that funds UK universities, and now the rules have changed mid-game. If you're a current student or planning to apply, listen carefully. You must now think strategically about your degree choice, your internships, your networking, and your job prospects before you even set foot in the UK. The days of coming to study and figuring it out later are over. You need a plan from day one, or you'll be buying a return ticket home the moment you throw your graduation cap in the air. The second major change is the revision of the skilled worker visa salary threshold. For years, the minimum salary for a skilled worker visa was $26,200, or the going rate for the job, whichever was higher. This threshold allowed teachers, nurses, junior engineers, and mid-level professionals to qualify for sponsorship. It wasn't easy, but it was achievable. But in 2026, the Home Office has confirmed that the threshold will increase to $38,700 for most roles. Only jobs on the official shortage occupation list will have reduced thresholds, and even those are being reviewed and reduced in number. This change is devastating for families. Imagine you're a nurse from the Philippines who has worked in the UK for 3 years. Your spouse is back home waiting for you to earn enough to sponsor their visa. Under the old rules, you were close. Under the new rules, you're nowhere near the threshold. Or imagine you're a software developer from India who received a job offer for $35,000. Last year, that would have been enough. This year, it's not. Your offer letter is worthless. Your dreams are on hold. Your family's future is uncertain. The government insists this is about protecting British workers, ensuring that immigration serves the economy, and preventing wage suppression. Critics argue this is about politics, about reducing immigration numbers to satisfy voters, regardless of the human cost. The truth is probably somewhere in between. But for the immigrant sitting in a one-room flat in Lagos or Lahore or Dhaka, refreshing their email for a job offer that might never come, the reasons don't matter. The result is the same. The door is narrower. The climb is steeper. The dream is harder. The third major change is the transformation of family visa sponsorship rules. The UK has long required British citizens and settled persons to meet a minimum income requirement to sponsor their spouse or partner. That threshold was $18,600, plus additional amounts for children. It was already a barrier that separated thousands of families, forcing British citizens to choose between their country and their spouse. But in 2026, that threshold has been raised to $29,000. And it's being strictly enforced with new documentation requirements that make proving income far more difficult. This is where immigration policy becomes heartbreak. Picture a British citizen who married someone from Morocco. They met, fell in love, built a life together across borders. Now they want to live together in the UK. But the British partner works as a teacher earning $28,000 a year. Under the new rules, they don't qualify. Their options are to earn more, wait longer, or live apart. How do you explain to your children that mommy or daddy can't come home because the government says your family doesn't earn enough? How do you tell your spouse that the wedding photos, the vows, the love you share isn't enough to overcome a number on a policy document? These family separation policies are cruel in their precision. They don't account for love, for commitment, for the value of family unity. They reduce human relationships to financial transactions, and they disproportionately harm working-class families, ethnic minorities, and women who are more likely to be in lower-paid jobs. If you're planning to sponsor a family member, you need to start building your financial case now. Save every payslip, every bank statement, every piece of evidence. The Home Office is not granting the benefit of the doubt anymore. The fourth major change is the expansion and acceleration of deportation and removal policies. The UK government has announced new agreements with countries including Albania, Nigeria, Pakistan, and India to fast-track the removal of individuals whose visa or asylum claims have been refused. These agreements mean shorter appeal windows, fewer chances to challenge decisions, and faster deportations. The government also confirmed its increasing immigration enforcement raids, workplace checks, and penalties for employers who hire undocumented workers. For undocumented immigrants living in the shadows, this is terrifying. Maybe you came on a visitor visa and overstayed because you couldn't bear to return to violence or poverty. Maybe your asylum claim was rejected, but you couldn't leave because your child is in school and your family is here. Maybe you've been working off the books for years, sending money home, trying to survive. The net is tightening, The government is serious about enforcement. And while some will cheer this as restoring law and order, others see families torn apart, children watching parents dragged away, communities living in constant fear. If you're in the UK without status, please hear this. You need legal advice. There may be routes to regularize your status, to appeal, to apply for humanitarian protection. Don't wait until enforcement knocks on your door. Act now. And if you're someone with status, someone whose paperwork is in order, show compassion to those who aren't as fortunate. Immigration status should never define human worth. The fifth and perhaps most controversial change is the new points-based asylum and humanitarian protection system. The UK has introduced a tiered system where asylum seekers are assessed not just on their fear of persecution, but on their skills, English language ability, and potential economic contribution. High-skilled asylum seekers, such as doctors, engineers, or those with professional qualifications, can access faster processing, work rights, and pathways to settlement. Lower-skilled asylum seekers face longer waits, restricted work rights, and potential removal to third countries under partnership agreements. This is where immigration policy collides with morality. Asylum, by international law and human decency, is supposed to be about protection, not productivity. A journalist fleeing death threats is no less deserving of safety than a software engineer fleeing the same threats. A single mother escaping domestic violence should not be valued differently based on her degree. But the UK government argues that with limited resources and public support for asylum declining, they must prioritize those who can contribute economically. The result is a two-tier system where your skills determine your humanity, where your resume matters more than your scars, where your potential to pay taxes outweighs your need for safety. For asylum seekers arriving in the UK in 2026, the message is clear: prove your worth or prepare to be sent elsewhere. So, what does all this mean for you? If you're watching this from anywhere in the world, dreaming of the UK, planning your application, or already in the middle of the process, these 5 changes are not just headlines. They are your reality. The immigration system has always been complex, always been stressful, always been expensive. But now it's also more selective, more punishing, and less forgiving. But here's the truth that nobody wants to say out loud. Despite all these changes, despite the tightening, despite the barriers, people are still getting visas. Students are still getting accepted. Workers are still getting sponsored. Families are still being reunited. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not luck. It's preparation. It's knowledge. It's strategy. It's having the right information at the right time and acting on it. You need to understand that the UK is not closing its doors completely. It's narrowing them. It's raising the bar. It's making you work harder to prove you deserve to be there. And if you're willing to do that work, if you're willing to be strategic, to be patient, to be meticulous with your application, you still have a chance. A real chance. But you can't do this alone. You can't rely on outdated advice from Facebook groups or rumors from friends. You need accurate, up-to-date, reliable information. You need to understand not just what the rules are, but why they exist, how they're enforced, and how to navigate them. That's why staying informed is not optional. It's survival. If this video helped you understand what's happening with UK immigration, if it gave you clarity or hope or a plan, then do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button right now. I'm dropping daily updates on UK immigration news, breaking changes, application tips, and real stories from people just like you who are navigating this system. You don't have to do this alone. Let this channel be your guide, your source, your community. And please smash that like button and share this video with anyone who needs to see it. Your cousin applying for a student visa, your friend waiting for a work permit, your aunt trying to bring her husband over. Share it in your WhatsApp groups, your family chats, your community forums. Information is power, and right now people need power. Drop a comment below telling me your situation. Are you a student worried about the graduate visa changes? A skilled worker trying to hit the salary threshold? A family separated by the sponsorship rules? Tell me your story. I read every comment. This community supports each other, and sometimes just knowing you're not alone makes all the difference. And turn on that notification bell so you never miss an update. Immigration rules can change overnight. A new policy can drop on a Tuesday morning and affect your application by Wednesday. You need to know immediately. Don't let a missed notification be the reason your dream gets delayed. The UK immigration system in 2026 is tougher than ever. But you are tougher. You've already survived so much to get this far. You've dreamed bigger than your circumstances. You've fought harder than anyone expected. You've sacrificed more than most people can imagine. These 5 changes are obstacles, yes, but they're not walls. They're tests. And you've passed harder tests before. Stay informed, stay prepared, stay hopeful. Your future in the UK is still possible, but only if you act now, stay sharp, and refuse to give up. I'll be here every single day, bringing you the information you need to win. Let's do this together. See you in the next video.